Welcome to round two of the Swiss stage. This time on the Rift, we're going to have Clown Gaming on the red side versus OC Esports. Both of these teams fell in round number one of the Swiss stage, but they are looking to be back for a vengeance. We are now into pick ban for game number two. My name is Llama. Alongside me is DBZ, and we'll be bringing you all the action here for the second match of the Swiss stage.
We back. Hello. So as before, Clown Gaming did end up losing their first game. So here they are facing OC, who will be on blue side. Clown Gaming will be on red side. So as soon as picks and bans start, we'll go ahead and get started with that. So I'm expecting some adaptations, specifically in the bot lane for Clown Gaming after their first game. I think they should definitely pick more I don't want to say like proactive picks in the ball lane, but I think more aggressive picks. I think that's what I want to see from them coming up. And they instantly smash in the Aphelios and Milio, and just like that. All right. That is about what I was kind of expecting. There's definitely some really hard scaling coming in, and OC ended up picking Corki on the blue side. So this should be a pretty spicy game. Been seeing some Corki today, actually. Triforce and a Mana Moon build is what I've been seeing. Lots of obnoxious pokes.
Especially Malignance. I think Malignance is also incredibly strong with that R burn, right? Because you burn on your ultimate.
Yeah.
That's typically a pretty common item. But I mean, the biggest shakeup here already is you're actually taking the support Nostalgia Lee off of that primary engage with the Nautilus and instead putting them on an Enchanter. And I think that's a big adaptation here in game number two that Clown Gaming is making. But I mean, they're going to be going into some engage and some aggression here. It is Paralysis, the support for OC Esports here, locking in this Pike and pairing it with, I think it's Ajosu. Maybe the AD here for OC as well, looking like a Kaisa angle. This is a very aggressive lane trying to punish this Aphelios Milio, a safe scaling option that Clown has looked for in game number two.
I think that is incredibly intelligent for OC to do. I mean, if you know that they're going to stay back, try to scale up, sustain where they can, pick something that kind of negates that. Pike, excellent at picking out and picking off people and, forcing summoner spells. Kaisa, really good at poking with her W. Let's assume that maybe Ajosu is going to go a little bit into AP, but Jax is going to be the response for the last pick of the first phase of picks and bans. And then from here, it looks like we ban the Rumble, which Rumble is a really strong pick that I'm seeing. Permabanned in a lot of regions, except for the LEC, I believe, or it might have been the LCK that he's not really permabanned in right now. And then we have Lilia as the second ban. Now, from here, I guess you could ban another top laner if you want, or a jungler, so they go ahead and ban the Jarvan on the side of Clown Gaming. I can actually see that banning it away, especially because with the Cataclysm and whatever Pike decides to do to go in, that could pretty much spell doom for your team. And then OC looks like, okay, they will ban away the Yone, which is a comfort pick coming in. So, all right. What do you think that Clown Gaming should do here? So they have jungle and mid left open to pick.
Yeah, they're going to counter pick mid here on R4. They're going to leave the Jax for the flex, which is why they banned the Rumble away as well. Seeing the Corki is already, that's going to mean that Corki is 95% of the chance going to go mid. Cloud Gaming, I would like to see them pick up a control mage. I like this single target burst from Syndra here. It does still hold a little bit of this R5 flex for Jax angle, right? So now you're forcing OC Esports to pick champs that will do okay in the Jax, right? There's still some flex option between Yao Yao and Diamonds, the top and jungle here for Clown Gaming. And OC, they have locked in so much damage in their first three picks. You got to see some of these beefy boys, some frontline crowd control coming in to round out the composition. Ornn fits that bill perfectly here, and it looks like that will be the lock-in here for OC Esports. We'll see what they pick into Syndra or into the jungle matchup.
Definitely also the Ornn coming in that is a very, very strong like engage tool for the side of OC. I'm not seeing terribly too much on the other side for Clown Gaming right now, so they need something that can like be the go button.
Ooh,
oh no.
That's a go button.
And I'm not saying oh no is a bad thing, by the way. I'm saying oh no because I have PTSD from Nocturne right now, and they will lock it in. From what I have seen from the Nocturnes in my games, it is Axiom Arc Rush. Always going first for Axiom Arc, so that way that ultimate is just kind of almost always up every single fight, and it is gross. It is disgusting. You do not exactly have a take on the side of Cloud Gaming. So the Nocturne pick, if they decide to go that route with the build, is going to be incredibly annoying. Sejuani, thank God. All right, I would say we need a go button, and Sejuani is a go button for the side of Cloud Gaming. So I was getting a little nervous here. It's like they need something to be able to go in, and they got it.
Yep, that is absolutely the that front line that you need as well. Likely meaning Jax is going to go top lane into the Ornn, and at least you have that melee synergy as well between Sejuani and Jax in the top lane.
True. That is something that is very crucial, I will say, especially when you're doing like top lane dives or any kind of like plays top lane. Having that extra bit of extra CC with the long side of her passive can definitely change how some fights can go or force a fight heavily into one's favor. I'm really excited to where this could go. I like their draft a lot more than I do the first one. I think this draft for Cloud Gaming is much better. And then OC's draft, whew, I'm nervous how this Nocturne, like not like bad nervous, but I'm feeling for them if this Nocturne goes the build I'm thinking he will.
Yeah, we'll see if that is going to be the case on the build path here. But now that all 10 champions are locked in, OC Esports, we talked about it after game one when we saw Cloud Gaming fall. So much is about a mental reset and still putting your best foot forward in game two. And OC Esports thinks that their best foot forward is a dive comp, especially in this bot lane and jungle pairing, which we see has such high prevalence right now in the pro scene. Because if you can dive bot side, if you can get your pressure bot lane, like that really is what opens up these games very early on. And we saw what happened Cloud Gaming in round one. If you didn't catch that game, it was the bot side dominance that led to the victory for Lotus in that first round. And now OC Esports is looking to do the same thing here in game two.
Absolutely. So can they handle the pressure? We will have to wait and see. And will Cloud Gaming come through with with these little adaptations that they have made in their draft? And will they make their adaptations in the bot lane? I would argue that mid and top went okay, but just it's really the bot side of the map that they need to focus on. And I think getting better objective control as well, because we saw all 6 Void Grubs go over to Lotus. So maybe getting something going in that angle as well to get some extra pushing power. This overall, I think, is going to be a pretty hype game. I hope it's close, and I'm excited to see what Cloud Gaming can do with this draft.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. We'll see in just a minute on the Rift. It's game number 2 of the Swiss stage, and we are on to the Rift here for the games between OC Esports and Cloud Gaming. My name is Llama. Along with me is DBZ. And we're bringing you the 0-1 here in the second round. This is the 21st seed of OC Esports taking on Cloud Gaming. Both me and DBZ did cover Cloud Gaming's first game that they had here against Lotus. And now we'll have to see in game 2 which of these two teams is going to be 1-1 and tie up their score record, and which one will go to 0-2.
We're about to have a cheeky level 1 here, Pyke, being the support.
Yeah, 10 members. But the big knockup, Nostalgia Leaf forced a flash away early on. The Ignite is ticking, but not fallen yet. It is going to be Paralysis also low. Diamonds, couple autos left. Burned. Flash forward. Look at everyone across the Rift is flashing, but it's OC Esports getting the jump. Take a look across the Rift. We're going to see 1 kill given for the jungle and the AD of OC Esports. Yes, you committed the summoner spells, but you got some success from it. So that is going to have a negative impact on this early game for this Cloud Gaming squad.
Yep, and Kai'Sa just back bought a lawn sword. That will be an advantage going over to her. Now, the plus side is bot no sums, which I hope that's what they're saying to Demons right now. So, bot no sums. On the other side, Nostalgia League did have to burn Flash and heal before going down. Sejuani also burned Flash, which could potentially be an issue. Actually, Nocturne did too, so maybe not as much. So we'll have to wait and see when the junglers interact, see how confident they are in 1v1ing each other. I'm pretty sure Nocturne just kind of wins though, since he does have that little bit of a gold advantage from the first blood and the assist, mind you. So,
but hey, at least Paragon has sums. Right, like Paragon didn't use their sums, and I mean, we wanted to see that this Cloud Gaming squad was going to be able to weather the storm. But that does not seem to be the case, at least in that level 1 skirmish. So yes, not only are you playing this scaling bot lane team, now you're already playing it at a deficit. at the early game here. So they really do have to weather this aggression because Pike Kaisa, this team is going to want to fight. We'll see what happens here on the bot side. My eyes are going to be on what Paragon can do to stay alive and get to that critical mass on this Aphelios later on in the game.
So, interestingly enough, surprisingly, Paragon and Nostalgia actually hit level 2 first. Now, the downside being that without, Melio having Flash, I doubt that they'll try to go for anything too cheeky. Corki will naturally get Prio in the mid lane, as we saw really briefly, because, auto-attacking minions and can kind of get farther away from Syndra to avoid, all the little things she will be doing to him when she hits 3. The Scatter of the Week, for instance, being one of those things. And topside, I don't expect it to be a wet noodle fight. I mean, Ornn will be kind of smacking with the wet noodle. Jax will be just hitting with the lamppost. And I think if Yao does end up getting a lead in this top lane, it will potentially spell doom for all the other squishies on the team. Because Jax, when he's ahead, is pretty obnoxious, especially with the Titanic Hydra changes. I'm expecting that not to be first, but maybe second, if not going to be. Nocturne here in the bot lane, as I change the subject, will be spotted on this ward.
We're just sitting around and kind of waiting for something to happen, but I think Nocturne might have actually had the first move there on that crashing wave, but did just want to give Josu and Paralysis the ability to just farm that wave safely under their tower. And you're right, not really
trying
wet
to bum
noodles,
rush this man.
but bot side, this is going to be the next play here. It is going to be a 3v3 to start on off. It is going to be the jungler Trinket looking for a little bit of extra damage here. Paragon trading back successfully and did have to use the Ghost. So Paragon for Clown Gaming is going to be down that one summoner spell, and it is going to be Nocturne claiming that bot Herald. Diamond's in the area though. Might be looking for a play. See if they can bait in the Pike. But
I thought he'd go for that.
Pike able to at least threaten it off, waiting for the jungle to come support, but now it's still a 3v3 once again. Who's going to be the focus? It looks like it's not going to be a Josu, so Josu's free firing from the backside, and the support is still alive. Nostalgia falls, a double kill to the jungler of OC Esports. Paragon with their flash still available tries to trade on back. The purple and blue guns are great for AoE, but not so great for the 3 members that are still alive and threatening here. Paragon is going to be forcing his tower on a big wave. Can this Aphelios clear safely? Yes. You see that is going to be OC Esports just backing on up, letting Aphil pull this wave. But hey, DBZ, this Clown Esports bot lane is not weathering the aggression in this early game in game 2.
I was about to say it was feeling like a repeat of the last game with the 3v3, and unfortunately does not go in their favor once again. Nocturne sitting at a really healthy 3-0 start to the game. Feeling himself for sure. Looks like I'm going to assume this is... I don't think Stridebreaker builds into that, actually. I'm not entirely sure what he's building first off the top of my head.
It's going to be the new when you use your ultimate and you get the attack speed and the move speed.
Oh, that's right.
It's one of the Hex Tech ones. I forget the name of it.
I forget too.
So yeah, we'll take a look when that does come up. But yeah, that's going to be the first item choice. So not Axiom Arc as the rush. But again, when you're 3-0-1 on Nocturne, I mean, you don't even need to have a lot of ultimates. You just got to make them count. So that's what you're going to see coming in through. But hey, Diamond's able to actually get those 3 first Void Grubs in the top side. So
I love it.
That's the kind of approach you want to see, because like Sejuani, we know they're not going to win that 3v3 DBZ, right? Like you called that out early here. You said this is going to be losing, but Sedge committed a lot of time to try to like stop the aggression, and then they still lost it. So it's just so unfortunate here if you're this scaling bot side and you're just trying to play defensively and then still losing even when being defensive.
But here on the top side, it looks like there was about to be a fight, but walking over a ward and a pink ward. I also think Ornn gets out anyways because he is level 6 and has the ultimate, unless they stopped him from
look at this 4-man.
Getting the... Oh, this is the part I hate about the bot lane changes. Is this
Here's
right
the
here.
flash on forward. It is going to be Paralysis taking the first tank. Drops, but does fall. Paralysis does die and gives Paragon 1 kill. Josu on a sliver of health, but does survive and denies the wave. Frozen Titan coming down to scoop up some of this experience. But that's what you're talking about. That is the bot lane changes. The dive angles are so critical. If you can land the right kind of crowd control and get the members moving on down, that's exactly what OC Esports did. Just continue to punish this bot lane scaling and not allowing them to do it for free.
Yeah, statistically, from what I've seen too, is red side bot lanes tend to lose a lot more because of that extra opening that's there in by the tier 1 tower. So it's very interesting choice that I wonder if they will change in the future. As we can see, and I've seen it in LEC too happen, where junglers will just camp that brush after killing the bot laner and they don't have sums, and they'll do it again. It's like, okay, I feel like that's kind of counterproductive to what you were going for, but there's no way to make it fair on blue side, so it's something that I think that they should.
Oh, Paragon's dead right away. Here comes that paranoia and flashed away. Paragon is going to get followed from the jungler. Trinket tries to get a little bit more aggression down, but did break the chain from Nocturne, meaning Paragon is down a flash, down a ghost, down CS, and down kills. Yeah. Oh, like you said, DBZ, this is looking like game number 1. Onto the Dragon now is this OC Esports squad, and the pressure is unrelenting.
They're not going to relent or stop with it, too. I'm fully expecting more pressure to come through from this Nocturne. Every time he has R, I'm expecting him to either be down here or somewhere where someone doesn't have flash, which, of course, the only one at the moment. Actually, wait a second.
It's going to be Trinket going down incredibly low while they try to take that Dragon. Yes, it is secured in the... will be the cloud for them, and it looks like with the bot lane moving on up, they actually might be able to get Nocturne to safety. It was a sliver of health, but this jungler for OC Esports, it feels like they escaped with some robbery there.
We kind of caught the tail end of that, which that's the kind of one of the unfortunate things that directed can. But wow, it looks like Diamonds just walked in there at some point, probably ran out of cooldowns to be able to take out the Nocturne. Actually, and I'm going to actually pivot right for a second because Jax does die here.
Flashes away.
Maybe not.
It is Yao Yao trying to get to safety. Gorilla Jones was very patient with that Ornn ultimate, but the Horn did not secure the kill. So actually escapes to safety there, and a little bit of a tricky play with that ward hop jump from Jax. Good execution from Yao Yao on the top side.
I 100% agree. Level 6 here with the Sejuani, who did use that ultimate at the Dragon. They probably pinged out that Syndra was off the map, so respecting the fact that Syndra's not around, and they're like, all right, we'll just back off, clear minions with our long range abilities and wait. But Pyke is going in here. Good hook on the Emilio. Does not land the stun, though. Actually, ends up taking a really bad trade at the end of that paralysis, ends up losing most of his health. But, okay, so we're reeling back now. Just gonna, lay down some vision, which is what I assume Pyke is gonna do, or not. He baited me. Just kind of wanted to check and see if Sedge was still there, because can't easily get out. But the reset will come through for Paragon and Nostalgia, and then the 3 other Void Grubs are now being taken.
And it's actually really smart of Trinket to deny 1, right? Again, we did see that it was the red side here was Clown to pick up the first 3 grubs. So now just by taking 1 of the second spawn, the most that the enemy can get is going to be that 5, which is only 1 Void Might. So remember, if you get 6, you double the amount of Void Mights you get. So even though it's only 1 Void Grub, it actually does have a significant impact on the pushing power, just to limit that. And maybe, at this point, you can play for it a little bit later on, or at least deny it a little bit. But it looks like it is going to be Diamonds and Yao Yao up here to try to actually finish off that camp early on, and at least get the Void Might to spawn here for their squad.
I actually really like that kind of a denial too. Like, they're probably going to prioritize the next 3, so if we at least take 1, that just means you only get the 5. It's like, all right, cool. But that also gives your team that true damage onto the towers as well. So very intelligent play, and looks like Nocturne is waiting in the cut as the ultimate. The Paranoia is up. Experimental Hexblade. Okay. So that's what it's called. I knew it was something.
And the Paranoia is available, and Paragon does not have a flash yet. Teleport's coming through me, and they're going to be diving this right away. They know they can get onto Paragon, and there's nothing he can do about it. It's going to get feared up. Airborne, knocked back, dead. 4 members came through, taking down both of Clowns. They are not clowning around to the bot side. OC Esports coming up big.
That was devastating. I missed the part also where it was package timing, so we should have definitely known that this play was long telegraphed before it even happened. So the package comes through, Corki TPs in, does fly in, so does Nocturne also fly in. That's pretty much what I'm expecting for the rest of the fights for OC Esports. Pretty on the nose of what they're going to do. They're going to engage with Nocturne. assuming Corki packages up, they're gonna fly in with that, and then Kai'Sa's gonna follow with the killer instinct, and Pyke's gonna do everything that Pyke, normally does, and rounds up 1,000,000 gold because the ultimate exists. So, really good team fight. Coordination, there we go. Really good team fight coordination coming through from OC, and just from here, it's like just about weathering the storm for Clown Gaming at this point.
Yeah, and it was weathering the storm from Champ Select, right? Like, it's yes, this team is losing bot side again, but this time they drafted 1-2, right? They picked up this Aphil Melio at the first 2 picks that they could here. Trying to make something happen mid lane, so we'll hold that thought for a minute. Frozen Titan gonna try to disengage now. Diamonds is here to support it, so it should just be an easy disengage. But as I was talking about in the bot lane, it's like you opted into this bot lane duo, and before you really saw anything else except for that B1 pick. So it feels kind of greedy to just say, hey, we're going to try to pick scaling and expect to not get punished at this high level. Paragon, speaking about getting punished, is going to have to bring the flash right away. Does try to trade. Red and white means you cannot fight if you are OC Esports, so we'll have to disengage, and maybe the next Bone Skewer will hit. And there's the Paranoia coming on through once again. You will not land at the death from below, but there is going to be the next. No. You don't even need the other teleport. First, it's the mid laner, now the top laner. But what it results in is both the bot laners fallen for Clown Gaming again. The fight still looks good, and Emps is in the area. Another Bone Skewer lands. Oh, now it's going to be Paralysis flashing away, but Yao Yao does pick up 1 kill on the other side. They're still at less numbers, but Frozen Titan actually picks up a second now. We're going to see if they can fight this on out. It is going to be the rest of OC Esports with this Corki trying to do more. Yao Yao now down. Gorilla Jones and Emps still going to force out Frozen Titan. Frozen Titan without a flash available means they just have to run. Drop some spheres on the heads of Imps, but will not live for long. A killing spree for the Corki, and another 1 team fight for OC Esports.
Actually, I would argue that it was kind of even. I would argue. Mostly because a lot of shutdowns did end up going over.
Yeah, Jack's got a shutdown specifically. Yeah, Jack's got a shutdown onto the Kai'Sa, as well as Syndra getting a shutdown on Nocturne. So, yeah, honestly, as you're saying, like, sure, maybe you lost some kills, but the extra gold at least goes in their favor.
Indeed, and it kind of shrinks the gold lead down. It's currently just under 3k. And this Drake, if they secure this, okay, Nocturne doesn't look like he's going to contest, so this Drake goes over. That's huge. That also stops the potential stack that could have started if they lost that fight. So I honestly think Clown Gaming, you're happy with that. Sure, you lost a couple extra kills on the side, but crucial shutdowns went over, and it went over to the carries to be exact too, and that's even more crucial.
Yep, and so the carries are getting some of the key gold that they need, especially topside, right? Like, as you're talking about the carries, I'm not even thinking about Paragon as a carry at this point in the game. He's 1-3.
Not for like 20 more minutes.
Exactly. He's 1-3, doesn't even have a completed item yet, right? And so when we're talking about the carries, it's going to be Yao Yao and it's going to be Titan, right? Those are the 2 players that need to step up now. This topside that, again, we said they played just fine in game number 1 as well. And when you have a scaling bot side, that is supposed to be your late game insurance. But you need to keep your top side ahead now because, again, you're playing the Jax into the Ornn here. Speaking about that, though, it's actually the Ornn engaging with the Nocturne from behind. 4 members of OC Esports are already here, and nothing the Jax can do but fall, and Diamonds has to watch their top laner take their health bar to 0. The Rift Herald looks like it might be the prize.
Rift Herald.
Yep,
yes.
That's the prize.
Yep. I was just about to say it transitions into the Rift Herald, which realistically should be used to open up mid lane when the Drake spawns in the next 3 minutes. That's what I would assume that they're going to use it for. They might hold on to it or drop it mid in a little bit because they think they can crack open the tower. I think top lane tower falls here. Oh, it almost did. Never mind.
It would have been 1 more auto for Warren. It would have gone down. And Paragon Nostalgia, you're going to try to at least suss this out a little bit. Maybe you get a lucky steal, but like you're playing with fire.
Yeah. No, I mean, you just have to be wary on the map at all times when there's a Nocturne in your game, especially when the 2nd or 3rd item starts coming through. He's going to be level 11. Okay, just walk and take the tower. The Ornn classic. But back to the Nocturne. When he starts, racking up some more ability haste, you just kind of have to be careful as Paragon or Nostalgia. If he sees you on the map alone and you don't have summoners up, you can just pretty much assume that he will always beeline it for you. And then Kai'Sa will not be too far behind when the fear goes off or Pyke lands something onto someone else. It's a very, very terrifying thought that the Paragon's going to have. I'm gonna actually transition to the top lane because I wanted to go back a little bit to when we were talking about the Void Grubs and how Nocturne stole one of them, and it also that's actually huge in another way because it negates the absolute split pushing power that Jax could have. Actually, here in the bot lane, Corki's getting
Emps was trying to be the split pusher, but now he's the one that's actually in trouble. That's immediately turned back. Nocturne was in the vicinity, so Trinket able to just turn that play on its head. Now Diamonds is going to run away, does pair up with their bot lane here, but remember, these are not the carries. These are not your strong members, Clown. You got to be careful, and it's going to be going in with this paralysis once again, but they're rooted up. They are stunned, and now Jax is teleported into the fight. Yao Yao going to try to turn this on to Kaisa, has to use the ultimate to get away now. Heal is well used. No flash available. There comes the ultimate. The kill for Paragon. We'll take that if we're going to be Clown Gaming, because they were able to get that extra kill in their pocket thanks to Yao Yao's teleport down. You don't got to split pushes the Jax. You just got to influence these fights, and that is exactly what Yao Yao did.
Absolutely, and it looked a little dire for a moment there because I actually thought that the Corki was caught out, but I was baited. EMPs just kind of, or EMPs, or whichever they would prefer us to say. It just looked like they were going to get 100-0'd by the Sejuani and the Syndra, but the Nocturne being in the vicinity with the ultimate available, who just finished Black Cleaver, mind you, so we'll be doing some armor shred along his lethal tempo. It just turned around real quick on its head. It would have looked like it was going to be OC favored. But then Yao Yao, the savior of that fight, coming in, and they end up picking up 2 more kills on the side of that, including both of those, I believe, going to the Aphelios. So that is a really, really important fact that we need to highlight. The Aphelios now 3-3 with the BF sword, and the Storm Razor is going to be feeling really comfortable in these next few fights. Drake up in 38 seconds, and at this point, okay, we gotta like get our vision down, get control, make sure we have mid prio, just keep the momentum going.
And the momentum is definitely there. You see that Yao Yao is not trying to split push, right? Does just actually want to play with this team here. But when we talk about momentum, this was that timer you're pointing out, DBZ. This is when the Rift Herald was going to be crashed. And yeah, even though Dragons in just a minute, they're going to keep using this Herald and maybe look for even a dive. Diamonds is going to be on the side, does have to disengage right away. They are going to take down the Herald, and they burned the package. So MPs does not have that now for the Dragon fight. Yao Yao looking for a flank. They have to play behind Diamonds now. Gorilla Jones, 1 hit from being stunned up, but the flash on forward onto MPs. We'll see now with the paranoia. Will they look to go in? Will Nocturne try to make something happen? But Yao Yao is going to be jumping back onto the Corki. There comes the breath of life to keep the squad alive. Clown, everyone still alive from this team. The first one to fall is going to be Paralysis, but 5 members of Clown Gaming are standing tall. They're not jokesters. They're looking to take the fight. Dragon is available, and we'll see what OC Esports wants to do now. Frozen Titan trying to zone, but it's going to be the Dragon.
They give it up. They give it up. Okay. I mean, they don't have any of their ultimates, really, and then Pyke died in the process. So without that Nocturne and Ornald, that makes sense. They will trade the tier 2 in the mid lane in the process. So even though that Clown Gaming is down about 4K gold, it actually does not look as bad as it does, especially because a lot of the gold is concentrated really on just one person. Actually, let's take over to the gold real quick before I actually make that next point.
See where we're at.
Let's see what we got. Okay. So yeah, okay. So it looks like most of their goldie does come from the bot lane and mid lane as well, and the jungle. Okay, wow. But it seems to be kind of negated by the fact that Jax is super ahead, and that Syndra is relatively not even per se.
Well, but has 2 items, right? Like that's even in that case.
So Storm Surge, as we know, is broke. That is how I will say, and that is where I will leave that at. Storm Surge is broke. So with that, and that it provides more burst potential for her. The Ludens as well. Do we see Shadow Flame or Void Staff third? Maybe that will give
I think Shadow Flame potential, right? Yeah, because of that burst potential with the crit damage.
Yeah, either one, I'd be happy to see. But wow, it's just I say this is a much better game from Clown Gaming than the first one. I mean, it seems like OC Esports is kind of a little bit of a stall, if I say, because they were in the driver's seat for all the momentum, but it seems to have slowed down a lot in the past 10 minutes.
Especially because they got the counter pick bot lane, right? And that's what I was really faulting this Clown squad on, was that they did pick a very passive, very scaling bot side, and they got countered by it, and they lost lane pretty hard because of it. But yes, even though you're in the driver's seat in lane, we're 22 minutes into this game now, right, DBZ? So it's like, okay, yes, you have an advantage. Yes, you have some items, but it's less impactful now, because if we look at the team fight, we saw how important Breath of Life was. We saw what Melee was able to do in team fights. And if no one's getting to that critical threshold for the death from below from Pyke, you're not going to get these executes, and you're not going to be able to get any kills here. And Yao Yao and their jungler here, Diamonds, are going to be able to just stand in front now and tank up a lot of this pressure. So yeah, you got to kind of change your game plan now and play for these picks in side lanes that Nocturne and Pyke really, really excel at, especially with that lethal or with the killer instinct that Kaisa can bring to that fight too.
So I'm looking at items right now across the board. We have Ward items slowly coming in. Gorilla Jones hitting level 14, which means that he will start upgrading those items. That's the extra scaling that they do get. That's, I will say, is the plus side. But oh wait, hold on. I'm gonna actually hold that thought. As Emps might be caught out depending on if they. Okay, never mind. So I got a little hopeful there. But I'm gonna reel it back, or maybe not even at all.
Yao and Diamonds, these are your frontline carries you need to have here. It's gonna be Paralysis and Trouble, and now here comes the Ornn Horn. We also have that first ultimate from the Nocturne down, and we'll just take down Diamonds. That's your carry. That's your front line. Without the front line down, what can the carries do? Yao Yao still looking for something, but is using that leap strike and the counter strike already both down. Paragon in trouble, does get stunned up, and now Paralysis has killed Paragon. Another kill will be traded back. Paralysis will be the one to fall. Yao Yao trying to run. Nostalgia giving a little bit of healing over. Gorilla Jones going to keep chasing with Audru here, as well as Trinket.
Right? Oh my god.
But look at that damage, at least trading one on back before they fall. It's a 2 for 3. The advantage still is for OC Esports in that team fight. They took Diamonds out early enough that the rest of the fight didn't matter.
Absolutely. And unfortunately with Emps, falling on the other side, or the Nocturne in this instance, it stalled the idea of going for Baron afterwards, so that does keep the game, I will say, within arm's reach of Clown Gaming. I would say, even though it is 5,500 gold, this game is a lot closer than it looks. That is how I will say this. This game is much closer. Now, with the way that Pyke kind of went in onto Paragon, he E'd and ulted to kind of extend the range of it, and that's what landed the stun onto Paragon, and that's how they finished off the kill onto him.
Because he had flash
unfortunately, yep, still had flash. But unfortunately, with Yao Yao still alive, it's just like, all right, well, he's murking our entire back line, and he killed the Corki. Or no, Corki's still alive. I'm sorry. He killed
He killed Pyke and Nocturne, I believe, there, yeah.
And then Nocturne. For whatever reason, just like left my head of who he killed. But going back to real briefly, is like Yao Yao is gonna be the difference maker in all of these fights, and has been in the last like 3 or 4. So they got to do something about him.
And Yao Yao absolutely is going to be that X factor in these team fights. And Diamonds as well, we talked about that being the frontline Sejuani, right? You are the full tank. You are supposed to be standing in front and taking damage. But we saw with the paranoia from the jungler, Trinket was able to just take him down still, right? Like, they don't need to use the paranoia to get onto the back line. They can just play front to back here, and that actually seemed to work pretty dang well. But yeah, it was that kind of pick off that they needed to win these fights, because these 5v5s are going to get harder and harder for OC Esports as Clown Gaming gets more and more items on these hyper late game carries.
Yeah, so 25 minutes in, Baron's on the map. At this point, I think we're just going to wait for the next objective fight, which will be the next Drake. Cloud Gaming was content with giving up the last one. I think they feel like that they need to wait on their next item spikes, or next like major components of item spikes, to kind of continue from there. And I will actually turn my attention, speaking of items, to never mind this fight.
Here's the team fight. Gorilla Jones looking for something. It does have to be flashed out by Paragon now, so Paragon without a flash, but red and white is a great spot to be at. Yao Yao has a teleport available, but is running in and is going to channel the teleport now. Emps goes in with the package, and they stun Paragon again, but does pick up 1 kill before they fall. Actually, 2 members have fallen now for OC Esports, and Yao Yao is here. Yao Yao takes another member in the back line, but Emps is still alive. Look at those rockets from downtown. It's Diamonds now going to chase on out. Emps forced to flash too, but Yao Yao was here. Yao Yao got the kills, and it's a winning team fight now for Clown Gaming.
I think they could just turn into Baron here, to be honest. The jungler is dead. Jax has enough attack speed to where they could do it. Syndra could TP back.
They're doing it.
This should be, yeah, this is a good call, I think. It tried to stop the back, but could not. She should TP back either on this pink ward in the bush or on the ward in the pit.
Gorilla Jones
enough.
Trying to get a little bit of vision now. Is going to get the knockup right away onto the Syndra, and Emps is still here to fire it, so it means it's going to be a turn. They're going to onto Gorilla Jones now, who was stunned up. Nostalgia Lee in the backside is getting focused down by Corki. Picks up the one kill, so trade 1 for 1, but that will reset the Baron.
And I think they heard there is a little sound cue when Pyke is nearby when he's in his W, so I think they heard that and they knew they had to back off. With Nocturne also being up, he could just ult in from their base, and you just kind of take the well,
it's OC Esports now starting up the Baron, actually going to be hooked in. Paragon was overstepped and has fallen. They got the pick that they wanted right at the top. Trinket now is stunned up as well, but Yao Yao does so much damage. A double kill now for Jax in the top lane. This Clown Gaming top laner is making a difference here in game number 2 of the Swiss stage in the NACL.
And I'm so sorry, I lied. Nocturne's flash was like 2 seconds from coming up, actually. So that's why he went down. Oh my goodness, so we're right back at square one with the Baron dance. Both teams are going to go ahead and reset, spend their gold. Paragon not having flash is naturally being focused by the Nocturne every single time he ults, and that's exactly what I'm expecting. I think he's going for Frozen Heart also in the process to kind of negate some of that crit damage. So really smart adaptation coming through. This game is exciting. I was hoping that this one would be a banger, and it is delivering.
It absolutely is. And these team fights are so close. And something to point out, I think, is how hard Paralysis is looking for Aphelios at every moment they get. Paragon is the constant target for all of these fights, which is great, right? That's your hyper carry. But who's the difference maker? It's Yao Yao. It's the top lane Jax in all of these fights that, sure, you're flashing and diving and dipping and weaving to get on top of Paragon here. Even seeing things like the Ornn ult get down for that. But now, Yao Yao, without a teleport, this is your key target. They're not at the fight yet, but OC Esports has not pulled the trigger. You've got to be careful of overcommitting onto this Aphelios, because Yao Yao and Titan will be the difference makers, even if this Aphelios falls.
Oh, I thought they were going to go ahead and fight. I got nervous for a second. But Syndra coming in has 3 items. I was kind of thinking it would be either Shadow Flame or Void Staff. She goes for the Void Staff. I'm getting a little antsy, because even they're getting a little antsy that I'm thinking about it. Corki is half health, so any kind of combo, I'm pretty sure Emps just dies if they land any sort of
there's
CC.
The stun. Titan does not get the ultimate down, but Gorilla Jones forced to run. Here comes the paranoia, but 5 members are still alive. Health bars are still strong. MPs has to reset. A teleport is up in just a moment. Do they have package and base? Actually forced to run away even further. Gorilla Jones going so low. There comes the ultimate from Syndra to take down their front line. Gorilla Jones has fallen, and 20 seconds until the dragon. That might be the only numbers advantage they have with the mid lane Cryo. I expect to see the tower falling too in a rotation into the dragon.
They should just rotate over for this, go grab it. It's 10 seconds until, but even with them, I do honestly think they might flip the Baron here.
Yeah.
As I see that, they're rotating in that direction. It's either you get Soul Point or go Baron. What's the decision here?
I think you keep one on the Baron or on the dragon to try to at least secure that, but they say no, we have the numbers on the map. We have to stop this Baron now. Look at this, Yao Yao staying on the dragon. And because of that,
smart play.
Yeah, they got called off the Baron. OC Esports does not want to commit to the 4v4. Didn't know how many members were running up, and Yao Yao able to take the dragon too. So take a look here now as we see Yao Yao soloing this dragon down. This was a great play. You get Soul Point now with 2 Ocean Dragons, and the Baron was stopped. You said this game was close, and it's only getting closer.
I am so excited for these next couple of fights, because we're gonna have a soul fight in less than 5 minutes time. We're gonna most likely have a Baron fight, because neither of these teams want to go to the O2 position, because that puts you in a really precarious spot where it's like you have to win the rest of your games from here, and it makes that kind of definitely does put some pressure on. But now with Yao Yao being kind of by himself and 3 people being topside, All right, he was smart. He's smart enough. All right, he backed up. Good
This is
on
the
you,
picks you want to
yeah.
look for, and I think that's package also getting picked up from base. You see Milio pinging it right away. So this is where you have all the pressure if you're OC Esports. This squad is going to look to try to take a fight right now, and they're going to try to get on a Paragon. Paragon's going to be in trouble. Flashes out. Is steered near sided, but MPs is so close to falling, and they have a Josu goes in the backline as well. Nostalgia Lee has fallen. Diamonds is forced to run. Both the bot laners dead once again for Clown Gaming.
Recently, though, that 550 gold shutdown on the Corki went to the Aphelios, and they did exactly what OC expected them to do, is to kind of walk up, be in a precarious position. I take it back. We're still fighting, actually.
Gorilla Jones now down to half health already. There's going to come that ultimate from Titan once again. They're going to keep on going. It's now going to be Nocturne, the one in trouble. Another auto does it. Ajosu is free firing, but not doing enough damage quite yet. Flash on forward from Diamonds. A double kill onto Yao Yao. Diamonds will fall, but 3 now. Column 1, 2, and 3 for Yao Yao. Sitting on 11 and 3 is this Jax, the top laner for Clown Gaming, coming up big once again.
Who needs a bot lane when you can have Yao Yao and Jax? And I gotta give credit to Diamonds and also to Frozen Titan. They've been playing all of their fights incredibly well, landing the CC where they needed to. Frozen Titan, especially with the Scatter of the Weeks, landing them exactly where we needed to. Diamonds landing those really good ultimates, even though the scoreline does say 05-13. A lot of those have come from the passive freeze and the other bits of CC that can be layered as well. This will be Baron for Clown Gaming. That gives them the gold lead as well. Mid lane is for the taking if they decide to open up the base. This should be an open the base Baron. Sometimes first Barons aren't, but this is 33 minutes in the game, so I would assume they're going to set the waves up to open up the base in this instance. Bot lane is pushing against them, so they will kind of set that. Top lane should be pushing in their favor, more or less, if I'm looking at the waves correctly. Looks like it might not, actually.
And
at this point, they just got to...
I was saying, there's less firepower now from this side of OC Esports, right? They used, they're going to try to go once again. I don't know if they have the firepower. They're going to jump right onto Paragon knowing they don't have the flash. They already got him. Yao Yao is here in his full health. What can Yao Yao do? Keep your eyes on this Jax in the front line here. Diamond's going to try to do a little bit of damage. Will you look for the next leap strike? It will go in. Counter strike going to deny some damage. Another Scatter of the Week is amazing, and unleashed power onto MPs will take down the Corki. Take a look, 1 for 1 carries have fallen here, but the push down mid, they got Paragon. I thought they were running out of firepower without the Corki package, but still not afraid to fight. Scout of the Week will stun up Gorilla Jones once again, is forced to run away. There's another Bone Skewer onto Yao Yao, but the rest of Clown Gaming is standing strong. You called it, DBZ. This is the base being broken open for the first time this game. The gold lead has swung into Clown Gaming's favor, and they're taking full advantage.
I don't blame them too. I mean, just I will say single-handedly for Titan and Yao Yao have pretty much like put the team on their back for this game. And every single time that Paragon has died, 3 people have died on the other side at least. Except this last fight, of course. But
yeah, because they're over-indexing on him, right? Like they're putting way too many resources into him.
They're just like full sending it into him, and just by that point all their cooldowns are blown, and it's like, all right, well, from here we can just easily deet our way to the rest of the fight. And Yao Yao's like, all right, backline access, cool. But from here we have Drake spawning in 35 seconds. It's gonna be a good one. This is the soul fight I'm waiting for, because this might be the game ender, actually. So I'm rubbing my hands in excitement. This is gonna be fun.
But take a look. Let's take some stock. Still Paragon without a flash available. Diamonds as well, no flash. Yao, no flash, right? You gotta be keeping an eye on these key summoner spells, because nearly every flash is up for the carries for OE Esports. OC feels fine just to hold the space mid, but again, in a straight up 5v5, I'm favoring Clown Gaming. You have to be so careful, because you have these assassins.
Concede this.
They're going to try to give the Baron, or the soul, the Dragon Soul, and they're going to try to push up through mid instead.
Okay, I see that.
So they have to reset, but they have the Baron recalls. Meaning,
they don't have a wave though.
Yeah, OC Esports just has to reset. Yes, you got Prio in the lane, and they're going to try to rotate up to the top lane. They have the first move in the jungle, but they have to look for a pick. A 5v5 will be so bad, especially with Ocean Soul. There is no heal cut outside of the Ornn Thornmail. So what can you do? They're going to try to set up a pick. This could be devastating if they can find the right target. It has to be Frozen Titan. I think that is the target you need to try to track down, but they have Azonias now. All 5 members in this pink warded bush. Maybe they can find Yao Yao.
Oh.
Yao Yao.
Okay.
Oh, Yao Yao could have spelled death by walking a little bit too far, but instead resets will come through for OC Esports, but now it's the Ocean Soul claimed by Clown Gaming. A gold lead of 4,000 nearly between these two squads. This game's tight, DBZ.
Absolutely. And one thing I like to point out all the time, especially when Dragon Souls come through, is that sometimes gold leads are a lie because of the stacks of drakes.
Yeah.
I think Azael said it best, that each drake kind of is maybe like 800 gold, so in reality it's an extra like almost 3k gold in terms of like raw stats that they have right now at the moment with that massive healing with 3 ocean drakes. Also, Paragon has a GA now, so they're not going to be looking to ult him anytime soon. So.
Yeah, so it has to be Titan now or Yao Yao, right?
Yeah, and Titan has Azonia, so you're not going to like murk through him that quickly either. Assuming the team is around, you just kind of collapse. The team just kind of comes.
This might be the fight though. Paranoia is going to be available. We'll see who the target's going to be. Bone Skewer was on the Paragon, but flash on forward, had to flash away. Here comes this Nocturne jumping on in. They're going to look for something, but already they've used the killer instinct. Yao Yao is completely split from this team, but they're winning the 4v4. Titan continues to push forward. They're going to take down Gorilla Jones. Gorilla Jones has now fallen. Yao Yao can reset and has teleport available to join in the bot lane. The package, look, EMP is just trying to clear the wave with this.
Oh, the TP!
TP to keep the minion alive. 5 members strong now from Clown Gaming in the enemy's base. That's the 3rd inhibitor now, DBZ. It looks like this might be it. The Baron buff has expired, but they don't need it. They're going to get a stun onto Trinket. Already flashing away. 5 members. Going to keep on pushing in Baron. Look at all this damage they have to the Nexus towers. Yao Yao diving on in.
Goodness, Yao Yao!
Oh! All 5 members still alive.
What? Yao Yao saw the opportunity, immediately flashes onto a Josu, and that now takes them to 1-1. Much better game, and they weathered the storm that was their bot lane. Falling behind. That was just absolutely impressive. The game looked real good from them compared to the other ones. Just chef's kiss across the board. Look at the damage numbers. It's just 33,000 on Yao Yao, and it's just 30,000 on the other 2 carries. That's exactly what they needed. Yao Yao, I'm just gonna say it. Yao Yao carried the game.
Yao Yao 100% did, and yes, Paragon did what they needed at the end of that last fight. But yep, Paragon was the target and was the focus and got bullied the entire game. But Titan and Yao Yao, the top and mid lane here for this Clown Gaming squad, kept the team in it. And now ties up their score here in the Swiss bracket of the NACLQ. 1-1 now for this squad, while OC Esports does drop to 0-2.
I have no words, man. It's just... That was insane. This is the mental fortitude to not let yourself keep falling further and further behind, and then garnering those advantages in your top and mid lane and just accelerating the game with them. And just mind-boggling just how night and day this game was versus game 1. And I'm really excited to see where Clown Gaming can go from here. But that's all from me. If you have nothing else, I think we can call it there for this. So we'll be back at some point with the next game. So we'll see you on the other side.
Cheers.